Well, it's time for another double feature. Now, this one's a little different because I'm going to be very short because one, not a lot happened on Rampage, two, a lot happened on Smackdown, and three, it is cold. My apartment is warmish, but it's -3 out, guys. And well, technically it's 10 degrees, but if real feel is -3. It is cold in New York right now. People have been getting sick over and over again, getting sore throats. To get over the sore throat and then to get right back. And I ain't no different. So I want to make this as short as I can. Let's get into Rampage. Was the first match good? Between the Elite versus the Firm, which has Cassidy, Matt Hardy, and Ethan Page. It was alright. The first defense for the Elite, now that Death Triangle's not there at the moment, this is it. I kind of wish they would start building up into it, but this is all we got. And it was pretty much, of course, you knew who was going to win. Of course, they're not going to make them drop it. But you wonder now, is Cassie and Matt Hardy's contract finally be coming up for... Look, the Firm owns Cassie and Hardy's contract. We haven't seen Quinn. He's not there right now. I think he's hurt. I don't know. I think either he's hurt or he's not in AEW right now. Not sure. I haven't checked. You can tell me below if his contract is over or maybe he's hurt. I think he's just hurt. But the point is, they got to do something. They need to do something with these two. They need a stipulation that eventually, maybe at the next pay-per-view, that if there's a tag team match and pretty much Ethan has someone he tags with, maybe Scorpio Sky, hopefully when he comes back, you will finally get Cassidy and Hardy away from this. Because since we don't see this, because it's on Dark and Dark Elevation, I don't care. Just move the Firm away from there. I hope that Scorpio Sky comes back, and there you go. Second match. We got Storm and Saraya versus the... Well, let me give it to you like this when it comes to the... What can I say about the Renegade Sisters? Are they bad? No. Do I believe they got personality? Yes. Will they push them? No. They're jobbers. That's all they are. And I do believe that's a major issue when it comes right now with women that are on the developmental roster. They're almost all jobbers. And the major problem here is that you need to start building more women. You need to start booking them better. And we're not getting that still. Saraya looks great. Storm looks great. Ruby Soho looks good. When it comes to Britt Baker, we already know she's over like on rice. And Jamie Hayter, we love her. She's hot right now. People love her so much. But we need more women that are on Elevation, Dark Elevation, and Dark. We need them to come up more because we're using the same women so much. Guess what's going to happen? Bunny will be dealing with Jamie Hayter. And I think she already did. Bunny has dealt with Jamie Hayter. We're going to have Penalty Forbes again going to deal with Jamie Hayter. We'll probably have a Time Mello is going to be dealing with Jamie Hayter. And probably again, we're going to have Anna Jay deal with Jamie Hayter. We're going to see the same women over and over and over and over again. What happened to Athena? What happened to pretty much... Isn't she still there? Mercedes Martinez? Where is Selena Deeps? Is she still there? Or is she just training and they don't let her do a damn thing except on Dark Elevation and Dark? I want to see more women. I want to see the more experienced women do something. Let them hold the TBS title. And that reminds me, where is Jade Cargill? Isn't she that important? Now, it's good that she's not on the show, but still, there's no TBS champion. I'm just saying. Final match, it's Rush versus Christopher Daniels. Great match. But do I care? No. The only reason I don't care is mainly due to the fact that, look, when you see, I will get to Swerve and Brian Pillman in a minute. I just want to leave them last. But when you see this is about Bryan Danielson. They had to give Rush this win because Rush needed to win so he can feel credible. So I didn't see anything for Christopher Daniels, who still has a red or black eye due to the fact I think what is it called? The that one of the veins in his eye still is bleeding, and his eye still hasn't cleared yet. I think it's still clouded. Now, if you've seen the podcast, he's perfectly fine. He can actually see. He's not going blind. It's just that the capillary still bleeds blood into the eye. Eventually, it can stop on its own, or it'll stay like that for the rest of his life. It should stop on its own. Final match. Swerve Strickland versus the Brian Pillman Jr. with the Mogul Affiliate. I think the Mogul Affiliates is interesting, but we need more. This is about all second generation or third generation or first generation, well, second and third generation wrestlers. Swerve wants to take them out. And in the end, what did we get? We get Swerve winning and I'll give it to like this. I'm not against Dustin. I'm glad they are doing something with Dustin. But how far are they going to go with Dustin? By now, Dustin should have had more. They don't treat their legends like crap like WWE did. But they're not really doing a lot with them either. I do believe that sometimes you can push a legend a little bit if it will give them something in the long run. And I do believe with Dustin, he could have been TNT champion by now. Kind of like what happened with Eddie. And now we hear that Eddie was never meant to join the House of Black. He was only meant to get fucked with because, as Malachi Black said, this is not about him joining. This is about showing that every person inside them has darkness. Now, what are we getting now? If that's it, that was dumb. But it counts on if it's dumb if Eddie gets nowhere and Ortiz gets nowhere. Malachi Black is the catalyst for this. Either Ortiz is about to change into something else, or Eddie's supposed to change to something else, and he gets somewhere just like Ortiz. If neither one of them get anywhere, this really didn't mean anything because Malachi Black got nothing. I'm just saying. Now, SmackDown. Do I believe SmackDown was a good show? It was okay. Opening, you got Ricochet and Braun Strowman versus Imperium as the final match for the number one contendership to go up against the Usos. We knew this was going to be a fine match. It wasn't bad. And what did we get? Braun Strowman and... Let me give it to you like this. Do I believe Imperium should have won? Yes. I believe Imperium should have won. But who is more over? Is it Imperium? Or is it going to be Braun Strowman and Ricochet? Braun Strowman and Ricochet are more over, so that's why they got pushed. But I do believe Imperium was better suited for the situation. But that's just me. Let's move on to Sonya Deville versus Charlotte. Did I care about this match? No. Did I actually believe for 1 second that Sonya Deville was going to beat Charlotte? No. Do I actually care about Charlotte? No. Do I care that Rhea Ripley is now going to go up against Charlotte at WrestleMania? Let me give you this. I'm going to make this very clear to you guys. You know what's going to happen when it comes to Rhea Ripley? One or two things. Either one, she actually wins, but then gets completely screwed over on SmackDown. Because unless they do a belt swap, and Bianca Belair is going to go over to SmackDown, she's going to SmackDown. And probably the rest of Judgment Day. And there, is she going to get anything better? She probably will, counting on if Charlotte doesn't bury her after her match. After. That's if Rhea actually wins. Now, do I believe she's going to win? Hell no. There is no way on the screen or Rhea Ripley is going to win. So that means she gets screwed over now, not once, by Charlotte Flair. Not twice, because the first time was in NXT. The second time was on the main roster. And now this will be 3 times, and it's going to be WrestleMania. So I don't give a damn. I actually feel sorry for Rhea Ripley because she's been booked so well. If she does win, the best option, and that's if it is going to happen, the best option, Charlotte moves from SmackDown to Raw, and Rhea, who's going to be SmackDown champ, will be by herself. Because if you think that Rhea Ripley is not going to be messed with Charlotte, you got another thing damn coming. That's happening. I'm just saying. Now, The Brawling Brutes versus the Viking Raiders. Fine match. Viking Raiders win. But we got Drew and we get Sheamus coming out whooping their ass. Now, here's the thing. Am I interested in their feud? Not yet. You know why? You know what I need? For me personally, this is what I need. Not seeing Sheamus and Drew as the Brawling Brutes. They are both supposedly warriors. One Celtic and one Scottish. I want to see them do something that is Scottish tradition or Irish tradition for Celts. Well, not Celts, but you know what I mean. How can I explain this? Both of them come from very similar people and very similar cultures. In fact, they probably were the same, and at one point, their people divided. The Scots developed differently than the Irish. But they all were basically Celt at one time. All of them were the same, but they divided. They still were Celt. They both were Celts. They're both still the same in a sense that they're still similar people, but their cultures have evolved differently. I want to see them show something Scottish, and that Drew do something Scottish as a Scottish warrior. Then I want to see something for Irish, an Irish warrior. I want to see them both show their cultures of how they used to be soldiers. And then go up the Viking Raiders, who have been showing what they mean to be Vikings when they're not. Those two at least are Scottish and Irish. They have a history and culture. I want to see that. I know it sounds stupid. That's what I get. This is what I'm thinking. Okay, the Fatal 4-Way. When it came to Shane, look, this is a match that's set up for the Elimination Chamber. Who wins this goes in as one of the last two spots because we already got everyone else done. I thought maybe if they really wanted to make this special, you threw Chelsea in there would have been good. Chelsea Blackheart. Or Selena Vega. Now, Selena Vega probably would break her neck. But at least it would be something different. Particularly that she's going to be working Street Fighter and as a commentator for Street Fighter. I thought that would have been a very good thing because that would be good publicity for WWE. But no. It was Natalya. Do I care about Natalya? No. She's been gone for months after her nose supposedly got broken. Do I believe that Shayna Baszler or Selena Vega would have been one of the best options here? Yes, I would have liked Chelsea there, but Selena, definitely. That would have been good because of her working in Street Fighter. When it came to Shayna Baszler, that would have been really good due to the fact the last time she was in there, she destroyed everybody. The person I liked was Chelsea. Seeing Natalya there, no. Due to the fact she only just came back, I do not agree with this win. But this is what they went with, and this is what you get. Now, finally, I'll give it to you like this. Was the NASCAR segment with Dominic and Ray driving around in cars on a small oval track, was it bad? No. They're trying to set up the story so they'll eventually have the WrestleMania moment together. That's obvious. That's what they're doing. And if they do it on SmackDown or Raw, well, you know what I mean, SmackDown. If they do it on SmackDown, that is so screwed up. Raw, that is so screwed up. It has to be not Elimination Chamber, but WrestleMania. That's the way I see it. Fine. Black History Month, and they started with Kofi Kingston. Am I against that? No. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with seeing how Kofi finally got his moment after 11 years and became WWE champion, that you can become anything. And be anything. Be anybody. Be anything. And understand, for me personally, being part black, I'm half black. For me, seeing things like this is not a bad thing. I don't have a problem with it. It makes me happy to see that they are focusing on it. The only thing I hope is they don't do it overboard. Because, let me give it to you like this. As someone from a different generation. I'm Generation X. I grew up and was born right after the Civil Rights Movement. As far as I'm concerned, for me, we got what we want. It's not always balanced. There's always some race that's going to treat black people bad, including the black race itself. We're not exempt. But we don't have to overemphasize something that we got. We can still acknowledge it, but not go overboard with it. And WWE over the years sometimes went a little bit too far with it. And sometimes I think it's not necessary. We should honor all the wrestlers like Junkyard Dog, like Kofi Kingston, like who else should be really respected in that space? Coco Beware and anyone else who had been wrestling. Honestly. Members of Crime Time. You know the one that died, I can't remember his name, who is with JTG. I can't remember. I don't know why I keep forgetting his name. It's been a while. And he passed away trying to save his son when he was almost drowning. Those are people I wouldn't mind honoring. Yeah, he was Dominican, I believe, but it doesn't matter. He's part of being Black History Month. You don't have to doubt it. I wouldn't mind seeing that. That's just me. You guys tell me below. Let's see. What can I say about Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy? 3 to 5 seconds. Seeing he puts his hand on Bray's shoulder and they stop. Do I care? I'm going to be honest with you. When it came to the Royal Rumble, seeing that match, I still felt like there was something missing until I saw Uncle Howdy and did what he needed to do. That was something they needed. But it wasn't something I wanted. I said it in my review that was something that match needed. But is it what I wanted? No. I want more of Uncle Howdy. I still don't feel Bray Wyatt. Seeing that he's taken bits and pieces of the Eater of Worlds, from the Wyatt family, from the Fiend, and Firefly Funhouse, put them all into a blender, blended it up, and it's given us this, where I believe, honestly, he should have done any of this and tried something entirely new. Completely new. Because as it stands now, I'm not fully into it. Unless I see who is Uncle Howdy, which should be Bo Dallas. Not saying it is, but it should be, because the new Brothers of Destruction would be right there. If you make Bo Dallas obvious, and if it is him, you can redo the Brothers of Destruction. You can use the name of the Brothers of Destruction because, look, Kane's not wrestling anymore. Undertaker's not wrestling anymore. Let them be the new Brothers of Destruction. Why not? I'm just saying. And finally, what can I say about this segment? When it came to Jay not being known, you got Roman getting pissed off at Jimmy and telling you better go and find your brother. You better find the word. You hear my words, go find out what's going on. And he couldn't get him. Jimmy came back. He said he couldn't get him. Solo never said a word, as he normally doesn't. And once they came back together and he apologized to Jimmy, he says, everything is just a big mess. You and your brother are about to be defending your titles eventually. This is not an easy thing for me. This is not great. As the head of the table, I got a lot of responsibility on my plate. I got a lot that's going on, and this is spreading me thin. I need to focus on what needs to be done, and that's Cody. He didn't say it like that in the back, but that's what it came down to. And then he told them, look, I asked the wise man to go and set up the bus with some food and something good to eat. Go. I'll handle my business in the ring, which he does. He starts trying to make it about Cody, but everyone was cheering for Sammy. And he says, okay, you want to go there? We'll do Sammy. Sammy has damaged my family. Sammy has ruined everything. And as he speaks it, Sammy comes out, whoops that ass. Then he literally grabs a chair and he made it very clear, 100%, I never wanted anything. Because he grabs the mic after Roman had did his bit saying that Sammy's always taking, that he was selfish. I've never wanted anything. Never wanted anything. Basically, he's saying that I've always been loyal to you. But now I want something. I want the WWE Universal, the WWE Undisputed Universal title. That's a lot to talk about. But you know what I mean. Pretty much after that, Jimmy and Sikoa destroy him. But right when they put a chair around his head and about to ram him into oblivion, what do we get? Roman says no to Solo. He says no. He walks over and he says, you want something? You want, all right. He takes the chair off his neck and he says, I'm going to give you what you want. But there's something I want. You destroyed my family. We're going to be where you're going to be. Your family. I want them all there. I want to see them destroyed when I destroy you. I want to see them heartbroken when I destroy you. I want to see them decimated in their soul because you destroyed and decimated my family. That is what we got at the end of the show. Now, was it good? Yeah. That segment was the best thing of the show. Did it really give us a lot going into the next pay-per-view? Going into... You know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. I'll be surprised if it actually happens. But pretty much, will I be interested in seeing the match between Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn for the title? Yes. But do I believe it's going to go the way many people wish it to go? No. And there's a major problem. Let's make it very clear. Sami's more over than Cody. This is Sami. This is Cody. Nothing against Cody. But since they booked Sami so strongly as a face, Cody being gone for months, coming back and winning at number 30. I said it was fine, which I'm not surprised they did that. But he should have been 5. He should have been number 1. He should have been. I agree with JD. He should have been lower on the card of that Royal Rumble match. He should have been at least between 1 to 8. Or 1 to 10. He should never been 30. That ruined it. So instead of him being here, on par with Sami, he's here. And if they're going to still have the WrestleMania moment between Sami with Kevin against the Usos, they got to do something immediately. Because that match is going to be more important than Roman and Cody. That's just the deal. And I hope you enjoyed this, double feature. Give me a comment below. Peace.